Chapter 7. The Beasts and the Judgment. In the first year of King Belshazzar of Babylon, as Daniel lay in bed, he had a dream, visions in his head. Then he wrote down the dream. The account began, "In the vision I saw during the night, suddenly the four winds of heaven stirred up the great sea, from which emerged four immense beasts. The first was like a lion, but with eagle's wings. While I watched, the wings were plucked. It was raised from the ground to stand on 2 feet like a human being, and given a human mind. The second beast was like a bear. It was raised up on one side, and among the teeth in its mouth were 3 tusks. It was given the order, 'Arise, devour much flesh.' After this I looked and saw another beast like a leopard. On its back were 4 wings like those of a bird, and it had 4 heads. To this beast dominion was given. After this, in the visions of the night, I saw a 4th beast, terrifying, horrible, and of extraordinary strength. It had great iron teeth, with which it devoured and crushed, and it trampled with its feet what was left. It differed from the beast that preceded it. It had 10 horns. I was considering the 10 horns it had, when suddenly another, a little horn, sprang out of their midst, and 3 of the previous horns were torn away to make room for it. This horn had eyes like human eyes, and a mouth that spoke arrogantly. As I watched, thrones were set up, and the Ancient of Days took his throne. His clothing was white as snow, the hair on his head like pure wool. His throne was flames of fire with wheels of burning fire. A river of fire surged forth, flowing from where he sat. Thousands upon thousands were ministering to him, and myriads upon myriads stood before him. The court was convened, and the books were opened. I watched, then, from the first of the arrogant words which the horn spoke, until the beast was slain, and its body destroyed and thrown into the burning fire. As for the other beasts, their dominion was taken away, but they were granted a prolongation of life for a time and a season. As the visions during the night continued, I saw coming with the clouds of heaven one like a son of man. When he reached the Ancient of Days, and was presented before him, he received dominion, splendor, and kingship. All nations, peoples, and tongues will serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion that shall not pass away. Because of this my spirit was anguished, and I, Daniel, was terrified by my visions. I approached one of those present, and asked him the truth of all this. In answer he made known to me its meaning. These 4 great beasts stand for 4 kings, which shall arise on the earth. But the holy ones of the Most High shall receive the kingship, to possess it forever and ever. Then I wished to make certain about the 4th beast, so very terrible and different from the others, devouring and crushing with its iron teeth and bronze claws, and trampling with its feet what was left. And about the 10 horns on its head, and the other one that sprang up before which 3 horns fell, and about the horn with the eyes and the mouth that spoke arrogantly, which appeared greater than its fellows. For as I watched, that horn made war against the holy ones, and was victorious, until the Ancient of Days came. He answered me thus: "The 4th beast shall be a 4th kingdom on earth, different from all the others. The whole earth it shall devour, trample down, and crush. Then 10 horns shall be 10 kings, rising out of that kingdom. Another shall rise up after them, different from those before him, who shall lay low 3 kings. He shall speak against the Most High, and wear down the holy ones of the Most High, intending to change the feast days and the law. They shall be handed over to him for a time, but when the court is convened, and his dominion is taken away, to be abolished and completely destroyed, then the kingship and dominion and majesty of all the kingdoms under the heavens shall be given to the people of the holy ones of the Most High, whose kingship shall be an everlasting kingship, whom all dominions shall serve and obey. This is the end of the report. I, Daniel, was greatly terrified by my thoughts, and my face became pale, but I kept the matter to myself." Chapter 8. The Ram and the He-Goat. After this vision I, Daniel, had another. In my vision I saw myself in the fortress of Susa, in the province of Elam. I was beside the river Ulai. I looked up and saw standing by the river a ram with 2 great horns, the one larger and newer than the other. I saw the ram butting toward the west, north, and south. No beast could withstand it. It did what it pleased, and grew powerful. As I was reflecting, a he-goat with a prominent horn on its forehead suddenly came from the west. It came to the 2-horned ram I had been seeing standing by the river, and rushed toward it with a savage force. I saw it reach the ram. Enraged, the he-goat attacked, and shattered both its horns. The ram did not have the strength to withstand it. The he-goat threw the ram to the ground, and trampled upon it. No one could rescue the ram from its power. The he-goat grew very powerful, But at the height of its power the great horn was shattered, and in its place came up 4 others, facing the 4 winds of heaven. Out of one of them came a little horn, which grew and grew toward the south, the east, and the glorious land. It grew even to the prince of the host, from whom the daily sacrifice was removed, and whose sanctuary was cast down. The host was given over together with the daily sacrifices in the course of transgression. It cast truth to the ground, and was succeeding in its undertaking. I heard a holy one speaking, "How long shall the events of this vision last concerning the daily sacrifice, the desolating sin, the giving over of the sanctuary, and the hosts for trampling?" I answered him, "For 2,300 evenings and mornings. Then the sanctuary shall be set right." While I, Daniel, sought the meaning of the vision I had seen, one who looked like a man stood before me, and on the Ulai I heard a human voice that cried out, "Gabriel, explain the vision to this man." When he came near where I was standing, I fell prostrate in terror. But he said to me, "Understand, O Son of Man, that the vision refers to the end of time." As he spoke to me, I fell forward unconscious. He touched me and made me stand up. "I will show you," he said, "what is to happen in the last days of wrath, for it is for the appointed time of the end." The 2-horned ram you saw represents the kings of the Medes and Persians. The he-goat is the king of the Greeks, and the great horn on its forehead is the first king. The 4 that rose in its place when it was shattered are 4 kingdoms that will issue from his nation, but without his strength. At the end of their reign, when sinners have reached their measure, there shall arise a king, impudent and skilled in intrigue. He shall be strong and powerful, bring about fearful ruin, and succeed in his undertaking. He shall destroy powerful peoples. His cunning shall be against the holy ones. His treacherous conduct shall succeed. He shall be proud of heart, and destroy many by stealth. But when he rises against the Prince of Princes, he shall be broken without a hand being raised. As for the vision of the evenings and the mornings, what was spoken is true. But you keep this vision secret. It is for the distant future. I, Daniel, was weak and ill for some days. Then I arose and took care of the king's affairs. But the vision left me desolate, without understanding.